Good morning, this is Tamara Sweeney from Love Dominates. Today's video is about co-parenting with the covert narcissist or someone that's going through a high conflict divorce. This is something all of us struggle with because you're dealing with a person that cannot rationalize. You're dealing with a person who will not communicate, who will not ever listen to someone giving them directions. So it's not like you're telling them what to do, but you can't have any rules in place, you can't have any discipline in place, you can't have any organization. It is impossible. So if you are going through a divorce and you're dealing with someone like this, this is my own opinion, but I highly recommend, number one, staying out of the courts, period. Number two, you cannot just have a psychologist. They are not going to figure out what the problem is. They will all of a sudden interview your kids and interview everyone that's been brainwashed by that narcissist. So that, number one, the psychologist should not be listening to the children and should not take the children's quote feelings at face value, because the children are in fear of that parent. So they'll do anything and say anything. They'll even say that they were beaten, they were raped, they were whatever, under false allegations, because they are so afraid of this parent. If you're watching this video and you do not have your children, then more than likely the ex-spouse that you were with is a narcissist and is impossible to deal with. If they can't rationalize, if they can't come to an agreement, if they can't have basic rules and basic, disciplining, or organization, then you know you're dealing with someone that's never going to work with you. So the courts aren't going to be able to fix it. The psychologists are not going to be able to fix it. Psychologists are listening to what the children are saying and they think it's true. Meanwhile, the psychologist should be interviewing both parents, not the children. You can interview the children to a certain extent to get their feelings so that you can pull out the red flags of parental alienation. Because any child that hates a parent, they've been brainwashed. Any child that cuts out a parent has been taught to hate, has been taught anger. A child will naturally love and not hate. I can't stress that enough. Anyway, what I would do, I really would pull everything out of the court system, because the court system wants you guys to keep fighting because it's more money in their pockets. So if you take it out of the court system, take money out of the equation, that way your kids aren't being profited off the court system, and somehow you get a third party just to mediate your situation. Maybe a family member that you can trust, somebody you can trust, and try to talk to the ex-spouse and you guys have to keep it between you and do not get the kids involved. Please, please, please. Here's some examples. I have parents telling me they're not getting the kids involved. They're not, the kids see this all themselves. But somehow the kids know about their financials. The kids are being questioned every time they're being dropped off at a parent's house or picked up. And they'll say, well, how was your weekend? What'd you do? And then they start bashing that parent, saying, oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, you don't have fun with that parent. Oh, that is so wrong. in so many levels. What each parent should do, number one, you should come down, write up your own rules. You and this other spouse used to love each other at one time. You should be able to come up with rules. Even though I know that's the problem from the beginning, that one parent could not parent, somehow write down some basic rules that won't be difficult for that other parent. But the main problem is that parent has never been held accountable for anything he's done or she has done in their life. So if she or he has never been held accountable, it's very difficult to work with these people. But write down, there's general rules of conduct in every state. So Google them, print them out, pick out the ones you want to go by. You are not supposed to be putting ultimatums on your ex. You are not, like, who are you to give ultimatums? Or who are you to put demands on your ex? You don't do that. It's just you stick by the rules for your children, and it should be 50-50 sharing. Because a child, in order to have proper growth, is 50-50 custody. Unless if that parent is, physically abusing that child and putting that child in danger, then yes, of course, you go a different route. But for some of these high conflict divorces, to save your children, pull up those general rules of conduct, highlight the ones you want to use, rewrite them, see if you can make an agreement with your ex, and other things. The parents are the, decision makers. So the parents should be telling the child, you're going to see your dad today. I don't want to hear about it. Go have fun. Have a good time. I'm dropping you off at mom or dad's at 5 o'clock. Have a good weekend. Can't wait to pick you up. And then you pick them up, and you should be saying, did you have a great time? Awesome. I'm glad. Way to good. Each parent should be promoting that you love and you respect that other parent. Nothing more, nothing less. I have parents that sit there and say, I'm not going to force my child to see their parent. They don't want to be with them. How can I force them to be with them? They don't want to be with them. That's a parent who's not being a parent. You stick the child in the car and you drop them off at the father's or the mother's. Simple procedure. You don't give that child a choice. Now that child is learning how to respect each parent. And if that child is acting up in that other parent's home because they've been taught to hate, there has to be rules. And you have to hold that child accountable for their actions. So, if there is a parent that is not doing this, that is a major red flag that parent has, number one, childhood issues, childhood traumas, something that has not been taken care of, been resolved. So that parent has to go face whatever insecurities they may have. They have to face their fears of insecurity, face their fears of abandonment, face their fear of shame and guilt. And then once they get past that, then they can come back and try to parent again. But until then, that adult is a bad example for a parent, because now they were putting all their anger, all their pain, all their hate onto their children, and now their children are learning how to hate. So I don't know how psychologists are not figuring this out. This is basic 101 stuff. Take the children out of it. Take the courts out of it. Do not trust your court evaluators. Just evaluate the parents. If there is a parent that is not willing to cooperate, bingo, that's the parent who's the problem. The parent who has the children is the one with the problem. End of story. End of story. There could be a couple situations where, if another parent was physically attacking that child and that, parent is raising them, then yes. But in something that is a severe, high conflict divorce, and a child's going around saying they hate a parent and they don't want to see him, and there's ridiculous reasons for it, it doesn't matter what the parents have done. Nobody is perfect. So if a parent had infidelity, if a parent doesn't cook, clean, whatever, if a parent is not working, then that is not an excuse to get rid of a parent. Here's another, now this is my own personal feeling, whether you're a stay-home mom, a stay-home dad, that job, that position is the most thankless position because, number one, you're not getting paid, so you look poorly upon because you stayed home. But in the real world, it's the hardest job in the world, and it's the most rewarding job in the world because you see your kids grow from infancy all the way up to adults. But you're never appreciated. And they put you down in a courtroom. You can't win in a courtroom. If you're a stay-home mom, you're a bad parent. If you're a stay-home dad, you're a bad parent. You're a loser, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not true. The government should be paying stay-home parents because children need guidance. Children need authority. They need rules. They need guidance. They need organization. They need discipline. They need to be held accountable. And maybe our world will be better. All right, I'm tired of talking. So this is Tamara Sweeney from Love Dominates. Choose love over hate in every decision you make. Choose compassion over judgment, because love is the cure for all. Love cures everything. Love dominates. Love dominates. Love Dominates needs your help. We cannot continue this cause, this fight of saving our children and keeping our families together, to making awareness, to parental alienation, to educating, empowering, and stopping the court corruption. So I'm asking people to please, please donate to www.lovedominates.com to help us to continue this fight. Thank you.